Hi, I'm Todd with Freedom Fighter Tactical. Today we're going to talk about 922R compliance with the BENELLI M1 and the BENELLI M2 shotguns as we've been explained to by the ATF. Just to state, this is not legal advice on how you should configure your gun or how you can even configure it legally. What we've done at Freedom Fighter is we've actually requested information from the ATF to tell us how to do this legally. That information applies to me individually because the letter was in my name. I'm sharing with you what they told me, but that's it. I'm just sharing that information. This isn't legal advice. This isn't advice from me. It's not advice from Freedom Fighter Tactical. It's just sharing with you what the ATF has told me. It's a safe bet that what they have told me applies to you as well, but that's your call. The address for the ATF is on our website under the 922R FAQ at the top of the page. I highly suggest that you send your own letter to the ATF telling them what kind of gun you have, how you want to configure it, and how you can do so legally so that their verdict on how to do this applies to you as well. Probably would apply to you as well anyway, but you know, there's no reason not to be safe about it. So that being said, what we've got here is we've got the BENELLI M1 shotgun and we have the BENELLI M2 shotgun. Fortunately, most of the parts for these two guns are interchangeable. A lot of the parts, not most, but a lot of them are interchangeable. That makes it very easy. At Freedom Fighter, we can make parts for one gun, they work on the other gun. It's fantastic. So, according to the ATF, under 922R, and actually there's a handful of other laws, but we all generally call it 922R, these guns are imported with 12 out of 20 potential evil parts or named parts. They're not necessarily evil. I don't know that that's what the ATF had in mind, was that they're evil parts. They're just parts. And the ATF has said under 922R and the other laws that surround 922R, an imported shotgun can have no more than 10 out of a potential 20 parts off a named list. The ATF names those parts individually. You can find those parts on the website under the 922R FAQ. These two guns, according to the ATF, have 12 out of 20. The BENELLI M4, on the other hand, if you watch that video, has 13 out of 20 out of the box. And then if you add the collapsible stock, it has 14 out of 20. But these two guns, according to the ATF, what they've told us is they have 12 out of 20, which means if you want to add magazine capacity, that's fine. They were imported without the extra magazine capacity. That's the way BENELLI's required to import them. But if you want to add aftermarket parts and increase the capacity of your magazine, that's fine. But you have to do so following 922R and the other laws and regulations that involve these shotguns. So 12 parts out of 20. They have to be named on the list. They have to be US made. All the Freedom Fighter parts that you see on this table are US made. All the BENELLI parts are Forend made. So anyway, Freedom Fighter Tactical helps you get around this. We offer everything you need to do the job. So let's start with the aluminum magazine 3-round extension, just to get that off the table. It's an inexpensive part. Basically, this is an original configuration of an M1 right here. There might be a couple aftermarket parts on it, but for all intents and purposes and for 922R compliance today, it's all original. It is missing the charging handle. I've been switching the charging handle between the two. I apologize, this one doesn't have its charging handle. We have on the end here a 1-round extension tube. Underneath this forend is a 4-round magazine tube. So if you want to use our 3-round aluminum extension, which will give you 3 plus 4 plus 1, so 7 plus 1, you can do that legally in the United States. And in most states, you need to check with your jurisdiction and make sure that you're not violating a state law. Well, you can add this 3-round capacity, and as you can see, it pretty much goes to the end of the gun, gives you 7 plus 1. The thing about it is this aluminum tube is not a 922R part. This is an extension. And even though you're replacing an extension, because you'd pop this 1-round extension off and put my 3-round on there, even though you're replacing that extension, it's an extension, and the extension is not on the ATF's named part list for switching out. So if you want to use the aluminum tube, great. You can do it all day long, but you still are 12 parts out of compliance. So you need to bring it, or actually you're 2 parts out of compliance. You have 12 parts off the named list. So you need to take 2 parts off and BENELLI original parts that are off the name list and replace them with either Freedom Fighter parts or another brand's parts that are 922R compliant. So Freedom Fighter offers pretty much everything on this table for 922R compliance or for just enhancing and improving. We have the followers. That's a very inexpensive part. It's easy to switch out. That is a named part. That can be one part of the two if you're using the aluminum 3-round magazine tube. Then you need one more part. You can pick one of the 3 trigger components, hammer, trigger, disconnector, or you can just replace the whole pack and call it a day and make the trigger nicer on your M2 or M1. You'll reduce the pull weight by about 2 pounds. Crisper, nicer, cleaner trigger pull. You'll love it. So you can do the trigger kit, knock it out. It's done. You could do one of the trigger components and one in the follower. We also offer for the M1 the Forend, and we also offer for the M2 the Forend. I don't have them off the gun. I only have them on the gun today. But these are both original Freedom Fighter Tactical Forends. They're both 922R compliant. They're both stamped made in USA, as is all of our parts. So with the 2 or 3-round aluminum tube, you can choose Forend, you can choose a follower, you can choose one of the 3 trigger components, and you're done. Also, Mesa Tactical does make replacement stocks for these 2 guns. We sell them at Freedom Fighter Tactical. I don't have them on the table. Those are also parts for 922R compliance, and either a stock for an M1 or an M2, one stock replacement is one part off the 922R list. So complying with this law isn't hard. All you got to do is have 2 parts, and that's it. So you can use the aluminum tube all day long with 2 parts. Let's talk about the newly released Freedom Fighter Tactical Titanium Kit, magazine kit. What we've got is a 4-round titanium magazine tube. This replaces the 4-round tube that comes on your M1 or M2 shotgun. So this original tube fits underneath this follower, or I'm sorry, this Forend. You don't see it at all. So this is what it looks like when you remove it. This is our replacement of that. Because this leaves the receiver and extends out of the gun, this is considered a 922R part by the ATF. This is the magazine body. This is not an extension. So if you use our titanium kit, not only are you getting all the benefits of titanium, weight reduction, corrosion resistance, and strength, you're also getting a 922R part. So that's one part of our titanium magazine kit. The other part is the 3-round extension. So what you've got is you've got the ring that fits in between them. The extension fits in one end. The magazine body fits, actually I've got it backwards here, but the magazine body, here we go. The magazine body fits on the other end. Gets confusing, and just about anyone who takes this gun apart and puts it back together has to play with this tube and figure out which way. It's not as obvious as with the M4. We've also got the end piece that holds the spring into place, and we also have the Forend bushing, which fits on the end of the magazine tube and goes up against the receiver. We actually manufacture this Forend bushing because when you put heat to the gun in order to remove the original magazine tube, you're going to mar the original Forend bushing. You won't destroy it, but it's ugly. It'll be ugly. It won't be nice and smooth and clean looking like this piece is. So we give you one of these for the kit, so you have a replacement. But anyway, when you use the titanium 2-piece magazine kit that we sell, and we do have a spring that's for the M2 and the M1 that goes with this. Every tube comes with a spring. When you replace this, this actually counts as one of your 2 parts. So now you only need one more part. Any of the 4 colors of the follower will work. A Forend will work if you need a Forend. If yours is old and rattles and is loose, maybe that could be because the washer's on the inside, or maybe it's not, but we offer the washers for sale. But anyway, if you need a Forend, that counts as a part. But with the titanium 2-piece magazine set, you only need one more piece. Hammer, trigger, disconnector, one of the followers, one of the Forends, doesn't matter. You just need one more. So that basically wraps it up. So you can get everything you need at Freedom Fighter for your BENELLI M1 and M2 in order to add the magazine capacity and do so legally. It's none of my business if you do so legally or not. I don't ask that question on the phone. You do what you need to do. But we offer everything you need, and we just want you to build the gun the right way, enjoy it, and stay safe. So unless you've got any other questions, you can call the number at the bottom of the website, and I'll be happy to help you in any way I can. I'm the guy that answers the phone 7 days a week, and I have been doing that for 6 years. I'm an easy guy to track down. So read my 922R page, watch this video again if you don't quite understand it, and if you need to, give me a ring. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video.